I was born in Colton, California. My dad had a mortuary in Colton, a Mexican-American mortuary. And I lived in Colton until I was 10 years old. And to us, it was like my older brother and I was like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. We had the run of the place, and the river nearby, and the dairy, and the bridge, and the swimming, and fishing, and it was all there. It was just a boy's life for us, you know. Then we moved to Orange County to Fullerton. I graduated from Fullerton High School, class of 1960.
Class of 1960.
And then I joined the Army.
Tell us a little bit about joining the Army.
I waited this summer. That summer I waited. There was nothing after I graduated. There was nothing for me to do. I didn't have a job, and I had no aim of getting a job, or even a hope of getting a job. So the next best thing was to join the Army and do the things that I wanted to do. I joined the Army on November 9th, 1960, and was quickly assigned to basic training at Fort Ord, California. And from there I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky as a Morse code radio operator. That's what I was trained as.
Tell us a little bit about your Vietnam experience.
I went to Vietnam in July 1963. I went as a communications chief for the 560th Military Police Company. When I got there, they didn't need me in that category, so they made me an MP. And the second day in country, I was a guard at the front gate at Tonsanute Air Base. And that's when my military police career started.
And how long did you serve?
I was in Vietnam 7 months and 11 days. And that's how much time I had left in the Army when they sent me there. And they let me ETS, get out of the Army with a full enlistment, tour of duty. And although I didn't spend a full year in Vietnam, that was the end of my enlistment. And I served mostly as a military policeman downtown Saigon. And that's what I did.
Now, from your experience in Vietnam and the military, you have written some poetry.
I lost a lot of friends. My closest friend, Frank Holguin, the only other Hispanic in the outfit, and I became very close friends. And he was killed as a door gunner. Because of that and my association with him and losing my friends in combat, I wrote poetry for my healing and healing for others. And it's Christ-centered. As I became more acquainted with veterans writing poetry, in a poetry class for veterans for our healing, I got to know more veterans that with different experiences and different foxhole experiences, so to speak, combat experiences, and a variety of people. The first wounded in our unit was a black man, and how he took the pain and the shock of being shot and the wound and taking him off the helicopter with his wounds, and then and other races as well as Hispanic blacks, and that inspired me to write this poem. I am a Marine, a sailor, a coastie, a dogface, and an airman in blue. I am a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew. I fought for Washington, Lincoln, Teddy, and Delano too. I fought for Ike and Harry, and for Richard and George Jr. too. I am a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew. I fought from airplanes, tanks, jeeps, helicopters. I fought from trenches and foxholes and a tunnel or two. I never saw an atheist in a foxhole. Have you? I fought. Funny though, when we bled, all our blood was the same shade of red. I am a Marine, a sailor, a coastie, a dogface, and an airman in blue. I am black, I am white. I am brown and an Asian Jew. I am a Catholic, a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew. We fought for the same cause, freedom, Old Glory, the red, white, and blue. I am an American, just like you.
That's beautiful.
And out of that, I met, even though Catholics prayed, the Asians prayed to whoever they were praying to. And here in the foxhole, there's no atheist. And everybody prays to somebody. And a believer in somebody, a higher power, a higher being. And we were all there. A Muslim, a Christian, a Catholic, a Jew. And there was no difference. You know? And my prayer was to my Lord Jesus Christ and to God. And that's why I wrote this. My father never asked me what I did in Vietnam or what happened to me. And I never told him. He was always waiting for me to ask him. And I was always waiting for him to ask me. And he died, and I never got to share that with him. And he died before I realized that I should tell him. So I wrote to him a poem in the form of a letter, or a letter in the form of a poem. But it was I told it to him after he died, and I, in my heart, I hope he heard it. Daddy, please, dear Daddy, please forgive me if I cry. I know you sent me here to be tough and sly, but please don't blame me if I cry. Daddy, please forgive me if I cry. It's not our name I want to shame. I just want to come home and sing. But please don't blame me if I cry. I didn't come here just to die. Daddy, please forgive me if I cry. The lead is hot and the blood is red. All my homeboys, they fell around me and I plugged them when they bled. So please don't blame me if I cry. Daddy, please forgive me if I cry. If I should get hurt and maybe die, it would only make my mama cry. So please don't blame me if I cry. I didn't come here just to die. Daddy, please forgive me if I cry. I'll be careful and come home. We'll all go fishing together by and by. But please don't blame me if I cry. Your loving son, Danny Boy.